The Daily Network presents 1011. 10 minutes of meaningful conversation with immigrant leaders and entrepreneurs every Friday at 11 a.m.
Hi, Anash. How are you?
I'm very well. How about you?
Perfect. Perfect that you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here.
For sure. Now, Anash, I'd like to go direct to the point, and I would like to know more about you. Tell us about yourself.
Right. Sure. I am Anash. My full name is Anashwar Parayil, but people call me Anash. I am the co-founder and CEO of a company called Haletale, where what we do is we're building a rental platform for international students and newcomers coming into the country to find a rental and book a rental even before they get here, so that they don't have to. They're going to have an easy transition to when they move to the country. So it all started from myself. I'm an international student. I moved here back in 2010. I've struggled. I got my part of struggling to find a place to get settled in the country, new culture, new people. Then I had to focus as an immigrant. You always have to focus on your, how to have a career here, how to get settled, have your own ground, and then you move on. So as anyone, like I did my master's here, started working. I'm also an aerospace engineer, been working with my engineer. Right now, I run business with my manager, who was my manager with aerospace. But we've both been driven always about helping people outside the work that we're doing. So we co-founded a company called Asengers back in 2020. It's mainly to help newcomers coming to the country with their short term. The quarantine was very prominent at that time, so people were struggling to find places at. So we helped over 1,000 people during the last year just to get help settle with the quarantine, when they are immediate food, how they can find the next rental, things like that. And when we worked, we understood, that rather than it's not just a part of a community, it's a bigger problem. It's just not a small group. And we started thinking about how we can help a bigger group, like how we can help it globally to solve this problem. And we knew that we could do it. And that's when we thought we want to take it online. We started working on it. That's where the idea of Haletale come in. I mean, to be honest, it really came from one of the students who came here. He really told me this, like, the way that I'm treated by people here is like, I just feel like I landed on a new planet. It just took us back, and we made this choice of we had to do something about it. And then the Haletale idea came in. We're building the product. We're right at this point manually helping people. Every day in my life is pretty much helping people to find a place and constantly learning and helping people and improving the product. That's where we're at.
Well, I think, you know what, Ash, I think the best business is a business that address a concern or a problem.
Right. Absolutely.
The good thing about you is that you really got the idea from a concerned citizen, right? Like ourselves. So, I know that you're doing really great right now, but so when you started, what were the challenges, the biggest challenges so far?
It's always, I feel like to start a business, the first step is always a hard step. It's like anyone can make a lot of planning. We can plan a lot of things and when we can do this, but then that's that initial step of how you do it. And to take that initial step and to do, even a pilot project, that's a big step. And that takes a lot of courage. Everyone is busy with their own life, trying to find a living. And, for us, when we began, we had that same problem. We had this idea of helping people. We managed to do part-time. Over 2 years, we were doing, along with our work, we do a 9 to 8 job and then find time to help people. So it's a hustle. So a lot of people get stuck there in terms of, get their full-time job and get stuck there and then have that passion driven out there because they don't have the time to do it. So it's just about, taking that first step, do what you want to do, understand if it's giving you happiness of you doing that or not. And see if it's really needed out there. Do you know that the market really needs what you're trying to do? And then just go with it. There's going to be a lot of people who's going to support you. There's going to be a lot of people who say this doesn't make sense. But then if you believe there's a passion and if you see that there's value in what you're giving, that's the happiness. Any person you help, a smile on their face, it just gives the drive to the next person. That's it.
Correct. Just focus on what works, right? Focus on the people that's really going to help you. So your business already helped like 1,000, like more than immigrants, but can you share a particular success story or a client of yours that you that when that happened, you really said, okay, I'm doing something really good here?
So I've personally known people. I don't want to name the person, but I know a person that he came here. He went to ex realtor, and then he's been trying to find a place. And being an international student, a new person in the country, you're in a culture shock. You don't know what to do. You're trying to find the best resource. What you want. And when you try to find a place, he had been asked over 10 months of rents in advance, and that's like. Even a person who's been working here cannot pay that rent, and then an international person having the convert, and this was so bad, and we knew that people are exploiting the helplessness of people so bad, and we understood that there is a value, and every time we help, let it be small, a short term or long term, or even if you refer to a one person, the recognition on their face or the amount of happiness that comes on your face, that really drives it. And that's what's driving me, to be honest. And obviously we want to make a scalable business out of it, because we want to make sure that what we do and what I want to get communicated right out there too. So it's important that I talk to more and more people. I that's what I do every day. Every person, even if I cannot help, I refer to the next person, but I learned something out of it. What I couldn't do today, what can I do tomorrow to different to help that person? That's what's driving me. And that's what driving us, to be honest. I have a co-founder. I haven't been talking about him much, but then I have a co-founder. Like I said, he was my manager, and we both were co-workers right now and doing it together full time.
And it's helping one people at a time. You're just planting the seeds right now. And like what you said, and I've been telling this, if an entrepreneur is just doing the money, they're not going to stay long because they're going to get tired.
Right. Absolutely. Yes.
I'm with you with that. Now, so let's talk personal. And I see the pictures in your bag. Can you, how do you balance business, especially first when you're working full time? How do you balance family, relationship and work and business?
I feel, even though I'm not calling my wife the co-founder of the company, it's really, she's also co-founder of the company, because if she's not balancing things at home, it's absolutely not possible for me to put my soul and heart into this, because there's going to be a lot of hurdles that you're going to get into once you get from your full-time job to a own business. There's going to be financial hurdles. There's going to be emotional hurdles. And if there's no person who can put your arms around your shoulder and support you during this time, that's where most of people really back off. And I'm very fortunate, both myself, my partner, I'm very fortunate that, they're being out there for us every day and night. They take care of the house. They take care of all our household chores and everything. And even my partner, when we started this business, he had a baby on that particular day. And she's been amazing. And, how our wives are supporting us. They're like more than founders than us. We're just doing the work. They're the one who's real power behind us. It's also friends. I cannot omit my friends. It's friends and family who's giving us the support and see the future in us and keep supporting us during all the emotional roller coaster we go through. That's it's an amazing ride. Yes.
Correct. It stops. So keep them closer. We keep them closer, right? Now,
absolutely.
Let's go to the fun parts. I'd like to ask, what's your favorite book, by the way?
Sorry, what's again?
What's your favorite book?
Favorite book? I am a person who is trying my best to get into reading habit, because I really want to read more and more. I can tell you about one of the book that I'm reading right now, which is about Steve Jobs. It's a very inspiring book, and I'm still halfway, but then I'm making a habit to try to finish a book at least once in a month. But then I really want to get more into books. I feel like reading a book at the end of the day gives you a lot of thought for the next day. And I make it a habit to myself. And
I'm so happy when you mentioned that you're reading Steve Jobs, because I adore Steve Jobs. I just love him. I know a lot of people hates him because of his, him being him, right? But he's a visionary. He created things, right? Yeah. Until now, he built a name for himself, a legacy. So I'm proud of you. Continue reading.
It's a very inspirational book, and I think it clearly talks about the journey of from nowhere to where he was right now. Correct. So it's a really inspirational book.
Correct. And so if you were going to have a dinner with someone famous or maybe in the past, who would that be and why?
I would go to a person who have done a business and failed multiple times and not given up and keep. I tend to meet a lot of people like that because I wanna know what's the drive of redoing a business and keep going behind it. So I tend to take a lot of calls with those kind of people where have done something similar, or not necessarily not similar to what I do. Any business, there's a lot to talk. There's a lot of things that you can see in your runway what's going to come. There's a lot to learn from them. Lots of things that you need to pull yourself, and you can picture yourself there. So that's something which I always make sure that, particularly now trying to build I'm learning. We're all learning. Any businessman, when you talk about that, they're all learning. So if you learn from a person who have been there and done that, then that's the part I would be going to.
Yes, and we minimize the risk, right? Having a mentor, having someone to look up to, check their experience. It's gonna minimize
I feel like it's about how good are you with adapting to changes and quick changes, and how fast you can think and action on things. That's going to take you a long way. That's what I've learned from people, from what I've
especially with the kind of business that you're in, right? You have to really, have that quick mindset, decision making. Important.
Absolutely.
Right. Now, Anash, I'd like you to share your advice, your, comment on things, like, especially for people or immigrants who would want to start a business as well, and they're just a bit scared. What can you tell them?
I would say I know it's a common thing to run behind money, because everyone wants money. But then, like you already mentioned, if you run just behind money, you're gonna get tired at one point. So I wouldn't say just do something just for making extra money. You can do hustles with that for making money while what you're passionate about. But if you're really passionate about, make that move. Take that. It's a very tough move, the first step, but then take that move. And that's going to give you a lot more happiness than what the money from your 9-to-5 jobs give you, because if you don't love it, talk to as much people, understand, don't be shy to talk to people, talk to as much people you can, understand what we're doing, understand the process. Any person you talk to, you're learning something new. Then that's what we've been doing. Before we got into we learned that talking to experienced people, people who go through this problem of what's know your customers, know your people you're going to work with, and know the world out there, and take that step. That's going to take you a long way.
Well said, Anash. Now, can you invite them to your business, any social media pages, so that at least they can check on you and they can use the services?
Yes, absolutely. So right now, talking about the product, we're having an MVP, which is getting tested out. We're focusing more of international students coming to the country, hoping them to book a rental through us. That's what we're doing. Our website is haletale.com. There's a landing page right now. Within a couple of weeks, we'll have the beta version released, where anyone throughout the world can be using it. We're very prominent on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. In between, any person who's looking for help who can personally reach out to me on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, I'll be happy to help anytime of the day. I'll be happy to help, and I'll be happy to walk you more through the process, what we're doing, and the value that we're trying to prove. I mean, really, we want to be, our vision is to be a brand that stands for people who move to the country and say that we really want to empower them and understand and make them stronger even before they get here, so that they can continue what they're really coming here for.
Perfect. All right. So thank you so much. And I would want to hear more from you. So let's talk and keep posted. All right. So thank you, Anash. Great day.
Thanks for having me. And I want to say two things. First thing is, Dana, what you're doing is absolutely amazing. Great initiative to help people like us, and people and everyone supporting each other is the way to go. Absolutely. And I want to just end by saying that next time your friends or family looking to move to the country, tell them not to worry anymore. Haletale is working day and night to help them out, just to have an easy start.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
The Daily Network presents 10-11. 10 minutes of meaningful conversation with immigrant leaders and entrepreneurs every Friday at 11 a.m.